Kentuckians, like other Americans, have no patience when it comes to government waste. Surveys show that we're tired of needless expenditures. We're tired of Big Brother telling us what's best for us. But is it this way all the time? We started looking around to find out, to see if there are cost-efficient programs in government. Can citizens have a voice in decision-making? The answer is yes, and we think there's a story to tell. Area Development Districts, or ADDs, were created by the Kentucky General Assembly, but there's a twist. Because while the legislature created the ADDs, they specified that each district would work for its own board, composed of local officials, civic leaders, and other necessary interests. This is what you will see and hear. Private citizens, elected officials, all Kentuckians who contribute to the ADD process throughout the state. I questioned many ADD board chairmen about how this works. Let's hear from some of them.
Probably the greatest misconception of the public about area development districts would be that they are either a state or federal agency, when in fact they are neither. They were developed and established to assist the city and county governments in obtaining various programs that they might feel the people need in that particular area.
They also prevent needless duplication in personnel. For instance, why have one particular specialist in each county when that specialist can be shared by all the counties within a district? It's simply good economics.
The area development districts assist the small towns and counties with planning expertise that we cannot afford on our own. Area-wide planning obviously assists in helping to locate scarce state and federal money. There's no way that a small county or city could afford to pay for that. We feel that the area development districts definitely assist us in performing good local government in an efficient and economical manner.
So people working together identify their own needs. At the same time, they present a common front to bureaucratic interference. But do the ADDs become a new layer of government?
I don't like to believe that we have 15 state governments in the ADDs. I'd rather believe that the ADD board consists of 15 ADD boards made up of elected officials, mayors and judges, and citizens, all over the state of Kentucky, working together for one common goal, to make Kentucky a better place in which to live.
Area development districts basically are an arm of county and city governments. They act as an intermediary with those agencies to bring the priorities established at the local level to the attention of the state and federal agencies.
So the ADDs are controlled by your elected officials.
Is anyone here prepared to say anything about
Board responsibility for the staff is another matter. It's your tax dollar being spent for staffing each of the 15 ADDs. So what kind of folks are they?
You know, when you're talking about the relationship between the respective ADD staffs and the ADD board of directors, you're really talking about the meat and potatoes, so to speak, of our entire operation. Because the staff members are, in fact, the technicians of the groups that they respectively represent.
The type of expertise which we have come to expect from our staff has been the type of thing that elected officials are just not that well acquainted with. We are elected by the people to do certain things, and we don't have the specific knowledge that formal education can bring, and we find that our staff work has been excellent.
I think the advantages of the area development district down in our district is that they know where all the programs are, they know where the money is and how to get it, and most of the small communities don't have the staff or the expertise to do this.
So area development districts work with all levels of government, local, state, and federal, but all are under local control. Here's how this works. The 120 Kentucky counties were formed into 15 area development districts. Purchase, Pennyrile, Green River, Lincoln Trail, Kcadd, Northern Kentucky, Bluegrass, Buffalo Trace, Fiveco, Gateway, Big Sandy, Kentucky River, Cumberland Valley, Lake Cumberland, Barren River, each sharing common problems.
Another item I would like to bring before the group, you'll recall that when we went...
Every ad has a board. This board decides what the problems and needs are in its respective district. In other words, local decisions are made for local betterment by local citizens. And while most ads generally do the same things, they also are different because local needs differ around the state.
Was made by the staff of the two senators' offices that we get some follow-through.
Board chairman and vice chairman serve as a state advisory commission, assuring that the voices of the 15 districts are heard in the state capitol.
The action
Here is that group during a statewide meeting.
Is constantly before them, because, you know, if we don't have a group or a committee who can tie these things...
I think that...
During a coffee break, 3 ad board chairmen exchange ideas.
With the coming of the Tom Bigsby Canal, there will be barge and water transportation, and this will give us some water-oriented industry. And I do feel like that there's a lot of progress being made in industry and also in transportation. And with the energy situation like it is, we realize that we're going to have to move as much stuff as we can with this little amount of energy. What do you fellows think about this?
We have been very successful in the past 10 years working with the area development district, especially in aging, transportation, and more so in industrial development. We had the unemployment rate of 7 to 12% in my county. We've got a new industry moving in at this time of night. Went there at this time.
In our area, and as I noticed the women, and especially black people, because of the industrial park. It was developed about 327 acres of land, and all kind of facilities are out there for industrial parks. And shall I notice that payroll taxes are up, and young people especially are staying home.
That's a good point.
So ads improve the local economies. Are there more examples? Here's what we found.
I feel that along with this, that our district has accomplished a great deal this year in industrial expansion. And primarily, I think that Port Authority, which is pending right now under a feasibility study, which, when completed, brings 600 jobs to the district. The Clopay expansion in your own town will bring 150 new jobs, and it's pending right now. The United States Copy expansion, which is near completion right now, will bring 100 new jobs.
We've given most all of the Fat County's portion of the area development fund for the Port Authority. And although in each one of the counties, practically all the counties have some type of development for industrial development, we're lucky enough to help them get a General Motors plant. And it's well underway. They're getting going now, and it was finalized about 6 months ago. And we understand that's going to employ somewhere around 2,000 to 3,000 people.
The Tourism Council was one of the first areas of concern when our ad district was set up.
Another way to bring money into Kentucky is tourism. It accounts for over $1 billion each year.
The ad district has played a great part in our very fine tourist industry that we have going here now. This is one of the original log houses of the town of Washington. Now, Washington is important in Kentucky because in 1790, when the first census was taken, Washington was the second largest town in Kentucky with 500 people.
How are these efforts coordinated within each ad? How are unnecessary overlap and expense avoided?
I think basically that probably all of them are handled pretty much the same. However, a germ of an idea is born somewhere with somebody. And as that germ grows, it does become a reality, and it comes to the attention of our board, where the board decides if it has the merit of to have a feasibility study. And if it does, we continue on and do the feasibility study. And if it is feasible, then we will go to our local officials, elected officials. We'll go to business leaders, leaders of industry, and attempt to bring them all together, particularly those who have interest in the particular program for the betterment of the whole community.
Now, what these staff members will do is take assignment to a particular community or county within a given area development district. And what their responsibilities are helping those respective communities in deciding what their priorities are and what their goals are within the realm of existing state and federal programs that can be helpful to a particular community. Now, the staff will report back to the respective area development district board of directors. to convey the wishes and the desires of these communities to the board and to help them find workable, functional federal or state assistance for those particular communities.
This is a great step towards bringing those people together and having a better quality of life. And that could only be possible in regionalism. The only way it could ever happen, no way we could do it.
Economic development is obviously a high priority. We wondered if saving taxpayers' dollars is also a goal of ads.
Jim, I believe the ad districts save the taxpayers quite a few dollars over the long haul. They, with their comprehensive planning and long-range plans that they develop, it really saves money. And especially with their A95 review, they save a lot of duplication of efforts in a district and keep them spending dollars for the same type project where it's not needed.
One thing that must be planned on a regional basis is disaster relief. Unfortunately, Mother Nature causes major distress of one kind or another all over the state. And they happen summer, winter, and spring. Flooding remains a critical dilemma in Kentucky. People are forced to leave their homes. Many lose them completely. Business is disrupted. Life is brought to a virtual standstill. In addition to natural disaster, plans must be made for air crashes, explosions, and other man-made tragedies.
We are well enough organized that we can mobilize all the people necessary to handle any emergency that we think might happen in our area, such as floods and tornadoes, airplane crashes, and that type thing. We have tabulated all the key people in our 10-county area that would be immediately involved in a disaster. This would include law enforcement, news media, health and hospital services, ambulance-type people that would be perhaps needed very quickly.
The Regional Communications Center is the heart of the regional disaster plan. As an example, if the outlying county in our region has a mass disaster, they will call in to the regional communications system by radio and inform the center of the type of disaster, the number of casualties, the type of casualties. From this information, the Regional Communications Center will direct the ambulances to the hospitals so there's not an overflow in one hospital and one hospital is not receiving certain type of injuries that they cannot treat.
Ads are also concerned about other human needs. Many ads have developed comprehensive transportation programs.
The transit development plan needed to be put into function, primarily because it was necessary to have all the information available with a feasibility study to design a total system for the total good of that community at that particular time. What happens is that we have to survey the need, not only the handicapped, the elderly, but the destination points and the various other facets of a plan before UMTA or the Urban Mass Transit Association will consider funding.
We're all growing older, and the ads develop and coordinate various activities for the elderly.
Terrell, is one thing that we have that some of the districts don't have, and that is project independence. And this is something that we are extremely proud of, and this is exactly what it says, project independence. This gives the elderly people opportunity to stay in their homes and get assistance from others that can come in and help them.
Help for the elderly takes many forms, ranging from food programs to parties, from health care to recreation. All have one goal, a happy life for those who have given all of us so much. During severe winter conditions, some districts keep tabs on the elderly living in isolated areas to make sure they don't need food, fuel, or medical aid. Human services, greater efficiency, less waste, coordinated growth. But what about the participation by the average citizen? Can you have a voice in decisions that affect your life?
It's good that you have citizens members on your board. This is good that the citizens can participate in all of our area development districts. We do the same thing.
The local ad district is made up of elected officials and citizen members. All citizen members serve without pay and form a balance to the elected officials. Supporting the board are citizens' councils dealing in many ranges of public interest. They explore topics, come to conclusions, and thus advise the board on ad policy.
Not all ads have the same concerns, so you have seen just a sample of the kinds of things the ads are doing to make your life better. Volunteers, citizens' advisory councils, boards, and ad staffs in cooperation with local and regional agencies are helping in environmental problems, land use, housing, job training, nutrition, criminal justice planning, and community development. The point of all this is that there are 15 ads busy in the state of Kentucky to serve your needs. Each local board and various citizens' advisory committees are working hard to give direction to the future of their area. These volunteers are assisted by full-time, highly skilled staffs to do all the research, planning, coordination, and fundraising. As we said at the beginning, people are very concerned today about how their tax dollars are being used. We trust that what you have seen has convinced you that the area development districts really do increase the efficiency of local governments, reduce waste, and thus save taxpayer dollars. We know, too, that all of those concerned citizens who serve on the ad advisory committees, the boards, and the trained staffs serve with pride because they are all dedicated to improving the lives of all of us in the state. We hope you are proud, too.
The advantages of our area development district is I think the staff know where the programs are, they know where the funds are, they know how to get it, and they can give the smaller communities the expertise that they don't have.
We have all the freedom that we need in our planning and decision making. We've had no outside interference whatsoever in anything that we've done.
Small towns and cities, counties, there's no way they could have the kind of planning expertise that it would take to really look at a budget. And they're able to assist us in finding the money that we need, the scarce state and federal funds, in order to really help local government. So I think they really add to the efficiency of local government.